Welcome to Sports Communications Lecture 1, where we continue talking about communications models. You may remember from last semester in leadership we looked at the perception process. So we'll just have a very quick review of this. We get some kind of environmental stimuli. We then use our observation senses of taste, smell, hearing, sight and touch. Then we make perceptual selection. Perceptual selection is where external factors like size, intensity, contrast, motion, repetition, novelty, familiarity actually impact on how we select what it is we're looking at, and internal factors like personality, learning and motivation. Then we organise this based on how we've organised our perception. We get grouping, and that's where we're looking for continuity, closure, proximity, similarity, all those kind of things. We then make errors based on what we've seen. We get perceptual errors where we either have like perceptual defense or stereotyping or halo effect or projection or expectancy, or attributions where we look at things and think, okay, we're comparing internal with external factors, or we're looking for causes of success or failure, and we can leap to conclusions quite quickly. And then we will have some kind of response, and it may be covert, like attitudes, motivation or feelings, so hidden, or overt, that we see that in our behaviour. So that's the perception process. We have to remember that when we're thinking about communication, because we're actually thinking about the normal modern method of communication. It's a little bit more complicated than the one that Schramm and Shannon and Weaver developed. It's actually got quite a few chunks of Berlow's ideas in here as well. So we start with our ethnicity, our relationships, our personality, our non-verbal signals and our language. Then we actually have this idea of our fields of experience, so we're actually looking at that as well. That shapes our perception. Then our perception, thinking about our perceptual errors and what have you, and these are person A and B. And then we look at our context and culture and our purpose for communication. But equally, while all that's going on from both sides, from both people, we're also being affected by noise and barriers. So we need to think there are actually a lot of things that can go wrong in communication. So it's no wonder we really do muck it up at times. However, we can actually, thinking about this is a really simple model in that we're only dealing with two people. But let's have a think about what happens when there's more than two people. More than things going on. Here's two people, and look, they're having multiple conversations with each other, various things are happening, they're looking at body language, they're looking at what else is happening in the room, there's a whole lot of things going around. So there's the person, they're decoding and encoding almost together. There are public cues, there are private cues, there's non-verbal behavioural cues, there's verbal behavioural cues, and there's the message. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on, not just within the person. But then you imagine a room full of this, and it's no wonder that at times we are simply unable to hear each other. So to sum all that up, really what we've done with communication is we've moved from a transmission model, if you go right back to Shannon and Weaver, where somebody sends a message and it looks just that simple, that it's just sending and receiving, to what's actually a transactional model. So two people are transacting with each other continuously, creation or negotiation of meaning between two or more parties, which actually closes the loop on our communications definition.